Hey everybody, welcome back to In Bed with a Millennial. I'm the Millennial Javeda Bay, and this is my bed, and it is anal August, one of my favorite months for sex ed content, because I like talking about all things anal play, and it's a whole month dedicated to it. Also, who doesn't love who doesn't love a good little alliteration? Oh my goodness, what are words? I don't know. But yeah, it's anal August. So that means that all this month we're talking about all things butt stuff. But obviously I want to lay a good foundation as we dive deeper in between them cheeks this month. So today we're talking about the anatomy of the anus. So let's get to it. Okay. So before I actually get into the science of it all, I should probably start off with why are we talking about the anatomy? Can't you just have anal sex and it doesn't matter? You could. But a lot of people that do that end up really being like, oh my God, I hate anal. It's the worst thing ever. Because they don't have a good understanding of the actual anus to know what to do so that it's a pleasurable experience. So I want to make sure you don't have that. I want you to, if you choose to experience backdoor play, you have a good experience with it because you know what you're doing, you understand the different parts of the body, and you're not doing something that leads to pain or just major discomfort or just an unenjoyable experience for lack of knowing, you know? But with that, let's get into the anatomy, shall we? This is the anus. Isn't it beautiful? This is obviously an anatomical, wow, words are really hard today, anatomical drawing of the anus. And there are a few parts that I think are really important to know. First thing, the anus, the anal canal, is only 1.5 inches deep. 1.5 inches, and then it turns into the rectum, which is what leads to the intestines. So it's important to understand the depth of this, especially when you're thinking about toys you want to get and things of that nature, because the more you understand, the better you can anticipate the sensations you'll feel. Anal play is when it's focused specifically in the anus, in this 1.5 inches, is really important that you anal train beforehand because there are muscles there. So you see where it says sphincter? Yeah, those are muscles that actually regularly work to stay tight, to keep from fecal matter from just randomly falling out of your butt. Literally, those muscles are there to stay closed. They're like, nah, we just don't let things happen. We're not letting things out. We're the bodyguards. We're bouncing this joint. They are there to actually be on duty 24/7. So for any type of anal play that is penetrative, you need to relax the sphincters. You got to relax those muscles. So you got to massage them. You got to get them ready to take a break. They don't got to bounce right now. They're about to some fun's about to happen. They don't got to be outside the club, okay? They don't got to guard the club. So the sphincters are those muscles that have to be relaxed for penetrative anal play to actually happen and not be discomforting or painful. And then as you see, it says rectum. That's where it changes. So once you get past the anal canal, you're in the rectum. And so this is important to recognize because of depending on the toys you might be using for anal play, butt plugs and everything generally are going to be a little bit shorter. So they're mainly just focusing on the anal canal. Whereas things that go a little bit deeper start to go into your rectum. And you might be like, Jay, why is this even a part of the conversation right now? And it's because things going into your rectum are starting to get into your intestines, which is a never-ending part of your body. Okay, it eventually does end at the stomach, but the intestines go on for a minute. So it's important to recognize that the anus turns into the rectum, which is connected to the intestines, which goes on, which means that if you put things up your butt that then move into the rectum and then keep going into the intestines and they don't have a base, they're just going to keep moving. And so we don't want that to happen. We stick to things that have a flared base when it comes to backdoor play. But yeah, all this is important to recognize and understand about the anus because you want to be like, okay, but where does the pleasure come in? If there are muscles that have to be relaxed, how can any of this feel good? I'm so glad you asked. Two things. The first one being the anus, nerve endings out the wazoo. Even just at the rim of the anus, there are so many nerve endings that can be stimulated that lead to sexual pleasure. And that's where things feel good because just sometimes you have to take a really bad, you really got to take a number two. You really got to take a dump and you go and you do it and it's just oh my gosh, it was so great to let that out. It there is a pleasurable aspect to it. It felt good because of those nerve endings. So nerve endings are where pleasure comes in for anal play. And then there's also this image, which shows a side view of the male perspective of the anus, specifically because the prostate, so it's a little walnut or a walnut sized organ, and it's commonly referred to as the male G spot, aka the P spot, and it is a pleasure center. It's a great way of stimulating pleasure, and it can be stimulated, as this image depicts, through anal penetration with your fingers and toys and things of that nature. But so why anal play? Because understanding the anatomy of the anus, you know that there's so much pleasure that can come from stimulating the anus in a wide variety of ways. So we do it because, like, why would we not? So if you're like, oh, I had no idea about any of these things, that's what I'm here for all this month, to answer all your questions and to give you so much information about all things anal play and stimulation, because it's anal August. But I really just want you to recognize and understand, like, the big key thing to remember when it comes to anal play is the sphincters. The sphincters are extremely important, because if they're doing their job, they're making it so that way anal penetration is not the most pleasurable thing, because they're there to keep things from coming in and going out. So you have to make sure that you work to relax the sphincters. And you do this through anal training, which is another episode this month for In Bed with a Millennial. So if you're like, oh wait, Jave, you've piqued my interest, okay? Now I understand the back door a little more. I want to get some more information out of you. Wonderful. You know how to do that, right? It's by subscribing to this YouTube channel and also follow me on all the social media platforms, because I got all this information and so much more on there. So don't miss out on that, like, ever. Subscribe here. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all those places, because you want all the anal August information you can consume, and I got that for you. But yeah, that is the anatomy of the anus. It's a beautiful thing. And if you're, like, intrigued and you want to understand your body and your anus a little more, maybe go and, like, have a little poke, see around, see how things feel back there. Be like, oh, okay, that's the rim of the anus. Oh, okay, so there's some tightness. I think that's the first sphincter. Oh, I went a little deeper. There's the second sphincter. Yeah, second sphincter. Wow, really, words, I don't know. But yeah, that, my friends, is the anatomy of the anus. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing and a great time. But get ready, because we're going to have a great time together all month long with so much more anal August content. So until next time, I'm going to see you later. Deuces.